It's time once again for a chat with the Chief, and we're joined by Chief Stephanie Revering from the City of Crystal. Welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it.
We have a lot to talk about in the next 6 minutes, get you up to date on some of the engagement efforts from the city and also some of the current topics and trends. Let's talk engagement first. I know one of your favorite topics. Why is that so important for the City of Crystal, and why has it been so important for so many years?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, building trust within our community is very, very important to us in the City of Crystal and its police department. It's something we've been doing for the last several years, and we continue to do and grow. Several of our employees are super excited about our community engagement efforts, and every single time that we have a community engagement, they're the first ones to make sure they're there. For example, just recently with Halloween, that we had just a little bit ago, we did, our officers had treats for the kids when they were going about on that night, and which was very exciting, of course. And we always partner with the fire department too whenever we're out and about at nighttime, and they were giving away glow sticks. And so with our treats that we were given and the glow sticks provided by the fire department, it was a successful evening for us.
And how about Christmas coming up on the holidays? I know you're always busy during that time of the year.
We are, and we participate with Toys for Tots. We always do that every single year, but also we do Shop with a Cop, which is very important to us. We give back to those kids that may need our assistance or dollars to provide presents for themselves and to their families. And so on December 16th, we will have that event where we do a pizza party for the kids. We bring them to Target, do shopping, and then we bring them back to the neighborhood outreach office, and we actually wrap gifts and have pizza.
A couple times during the year, you team up with the Crystal Crime Prevention Board on some efforts to help educate the community. Tell us about the couple. I know one's coming up as we're taping this, the couple that have happened this year, and what's coming up maybe next year that people can look forward to.
Yes, our Crime Prevention Board is made up of volunteers throughout our community, both business community and also residents that live in our city. And so every year they hold 2 different events for our community engagement efforts, which has to do with Domestic Awareness Violence Month and also with identity fraud. And so we do have our identity fraud seminar being held at our neighborhood outreach office, which is good for the community to know because we have a lot of unfortunate scams that happen within our community. And so this way our investigator who actually puts on the event and does the training for our residents, they'll be able to learn what they can and cannot do.
That board, you need some additional help. Tell me about that.
We do. Our Crime Prevention Board is in need. We have about 7 members or so that are on the board, but unfortunately some of them do fall off here and again just because of busy lives, and so we are looking for folks for that Crime Prevention Board, and they can get a hold of me and I can direct them to the Crime Prevention Board president. All
right, city's website crystalmn.gov, and also a very active Facebook page for the police department, so go there, you can find out more. Recently, event with a few other neighboring cities talking about engagement, the Tri-City Community Engagement Event. Why did that occur? What were some of the highlights out of that event?
Yeah, so a few years ago, actually, the 3 cities, Crystal, Robbinsdale, and New Hope, had our first Tri-City engagement back in 2019 before COVID, and it was a success. And the reason for that, we wanted to build partnerships and trust within our community. So we had another event here this year, which we were excited about, had about 75 people or so that showed up to the event. And the reason, again, is because we want to make sure that we're sharing with our community that we are focused on police reform, we're focused on building trust within our communities, and making sure that they understand that we care and that we will show up when they call us.
One of the key points you passed along, I understand, at that event was about violent crime. Tell us about that message.
Yeah, so unfortunately we have seen an increase in violent crime in the City of Crystal, about a 28% increase over the last year or 2. And so that's something that was focused on, that we talked about at the community forum, and something that we want to make sure we combat. But in order for us to do that, we need the community's help, making sure they call 911 when they see something.
We are heading into the winter months, a little snow on the ground already, so some seasonal reminders for residents of Crystal. What should we think about this time of the year to stay safe?
Yeah, so obviously because of the cold, people want to start their cars when they're outside, right? And so we want to make sure that people understand that you can certainly go ahead and do that if you have a remote key start, but if you don't, please make sure that you actually don't start your car and leave your keys in them. Unfortunately, over the last week, we've even seen an increase in car thefts. People starting their cars, leaving their keys in. Obviously, if you have one of those newer cars with a remote start and you don't need to leave your keys in, that's fine. But just know that people are out there watching.
Very good reminder. Final note, if you drive by Douglas Drive and 42nd, you can't miss it. A little construction going on in the city. You're smiling as we talk about it. What's happening? What's the progress report and the date will you get to move in?
Yeah, I'm smiling because we're just so very grateful to our city manager Ann Norris and our city council for allowing this to happen. Our building was built in 1960 with a couple different renovations throughout the last several years. However, we've simply grown out of the building, and a lot of officers, for example, didn't have their own locker space because we've grown out of the building. And so the city council approved a $16 million facility that is currently being built on the same site, going from about 15,000 square feet to just a little under 50,000 square feet, with about 28,000 of that being underground parking storage to make sure that we have our fleet inside and protected, since that's a big expense to the city.
And it sounds like maybe summer or late spring of 2022 might be the time. How are operations going right now? How do you work during a time when you're out of your building?
Yeah, no, it's going well. Surprisingly, we obviously have had to change our communication style a little bit with officers and with everyone, just because we are separated, but it is going very well.
Very good. All right, if you want to contact the chief, find out more about the ongoing engagement efforts, crystalmn.gov is the website, and that Facebook page, facebook.com/crystalmnpolice. Stephanie, thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Dave.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.